Hey, are you working on the E blues scale? I'm reviewing with a couple of students, and we're working on this kind of basic phrase, which we've covered quite a bit recently on this channel. Remember the E note, take it over to G, here comes the A, then bend that A about a whole step. You can bend that G just a little bit, push up just a bit. Check it out. I did a pull off. So that's basically three notes, E, G, and A. And of course we're bending that A to a B, so we'll call it four notes. After you get those three or four notes down, let's add this D on the fourth string. The D kind of leads up to the E, like this. You can do a hammer-on or a pull-off, or both. You can always get some vibrato by kind of rotating your wrist a little bit. Your forearm kind of does the move. Try not to just use your finger, but get your arm into the act. So 4 or 5 notes here, D, E, G, A, B. Next, you could get a B over here on the 5th string, 14th fret. That's a pretty powerful handful of notes. If you want to add one more, you could get a B on the 2nd string, 12th fret. And you can do it like a matching bend. I'm going to bend this A up to a B, then hit that B like this. I think it's important to control the string so you don't get that 3rd string descending like this. I think that sounds kind of bad if you let that G string descend. So once you get bent, silence it with either your pick or your picking hand like this. So when I go to pick that 2nd string, I'm muting the 3rd string. Probably the side of your thumb is going to touch that string, but you can potentially mute it with your fretting hand. You might be able to get out of there with not too much sound. I did make a little sound when I picked up my fretting hand. Or let it down and pull off. So be careful about letting that 3rd string drop. I just want you to control it. Usually students kind of have an out of control sound, but if you control it, it can sound really good. There's that match. And you can also hit those together And you can hear when it's out of tune, the notes kind of slap against each other, like whoa, 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 whoa. You're trying to level that out. It's like two frequencies that are kind of hitting each other. If you make them parallel, whoa versus whoa, whoa, whoa. So let's make it go whoa, whoa, whoa. Check it out. The closer you get them in tune, the slower that oscillates. Hear it slow down around the end. That's pretty close. It's kind of a moving target. It's not totally easy to get those to agree. For one reason, on a Strat, when I bend the third string, the second string is going flat because of the whammy. Check it out. I'm going to bend the third string. Now listen to the second string when I bend it. It went down a little bit, but I've got 5 springs, so it didn't go super far flat. But it did a little bit. How annoying, but you got to kind of work on that and listen to it and get your pitch figured out. If you want to add another note, it'd be second string, 15th fret D. Those were some hammer-on and pull-offs, mostly pull-offs. There was a hammer-on. You can also bend the second string D, 15th fret, up to E. So you start sounding kind of like probably a bad imitation of Jimi Hendrix. I'm sure he had to go through all this to learn these basic notes. So I got out my Strobo Plus to watch the tuning. Let's see if I can make that E light up. We can add more notes. If you go to the first string, you got the E at the 12th fret. Of course, you know that, but from there, let's add the G. So it's a 12, 15 on the first string. If you want to be real raunchy, you can bend that G a whole bunch or just a little bit. Here's a lot. So that note sounds, it kind of makes an A. Sounds a little weird over an E chord, but if you bend it a little less, you'll get a major third. If you do a half step, make it a G sharp. Then you can maybe hit the major third, the G sharp, third string, 13th fret, that's your major third. Here it is up high. So when you bend that G, you might be hitting the major third. It's pretty cool. Now, while we're on the major third, let's add one down here on the 5th string, 11th fret. There's another G sharp. I'm going to hit them all. I love that chromatic run. 14, 13, 12, 11. That's a B, B flat, A flat, or you can call it B, A sharp, A, G sharp. I think sharp is the right way. So that's chromatic. 4 notes in a row. 14, 13, 12, 11. Really fun. Boom. All right, man. Well, keep working on that E blues scale. This is kind of a long series of videos I've been putting out on the same topic, the E blues scale, and we've done some chords. We've worked on E to A chords. So this is a little bit of a review, making sure if you're new to the channel, you might want to jump in and make sure you know those basic notes for soloing, because soloing is a lot of fun when you play the guitar. All right, good luck with that, and thank you.